Because that Ghost Rider angle, like, I need somebody who I know what I'm doing with.
100%.
At least one person.
Oh yeah, and even then, like yeah, like the rest of the team can follow is like, oh, well, it's just you and fucking X Factor and Ghost Rider. Is like, I can make this work.
Level 3 X Factor with Ghost Rider. You are toast. Eat chain, eat chain, eat chain. Hellfire!
Well, I mean, by the time you hit the fucking anchor with Ryder, it's like, I'm not saying I'm task mastering, I know all your moves, like, no, but I know what you're prone to do now.
I've seen your shit with the previous 2 fighters, and now I'm just gonna fuck you up accordingly.
Pretty
much. Watch this.
What's that? You like to jump around? Hold on, I got something for that.
You dare touch me, Hellfire!
Mm-hmm. Yeah, what's that? You want to rush down? Hold on, I got something for that. I've got options, baby, and that's what I like about the Rider.
Oh god, she even does a rich gold run.
Yeah, I was say she even does fucking like the E100 fucking like rolling slaps.
You just yeeted Luan across the board. Damn, alright girl.
Get the fuck out!
Yeah, because she's a rich girl that just loves sumo. I'm like, okay, cool. That's kind of a weird contradiction. Like, that doesn't exactly... Sure, alright.
But other than that, no, I went shopping today and I picked up a game. I don't know if I'm gonna do it for the stream, but I've never played it, but I missed out on the first time and I've only ever heard about it, kind of deal. Super Mario RPG.
Wait, Super Mario RPG?
Yeah, the one that just came out. Like, it's not something I really would consider for the channel, to be honest with you. Like, 100%, it's like, it's too simple of an RPG, and it's an RPG on top of that.
Yeah.
We've already done this, I don't want to...
We've done that twice. Together in succession.
I meant to do it once. With, like, Pokemon. Pokemon, I'm okay, because that's a very soft RPG kind of thing. But yeah, no, I was not meaning to do it twice in a row. That was not my intention. But that said, like, I missed out on the first time on Super Nintendo, and I'm almost 100% like this is mostly just going to be a carbon copy of like the original with better graphics.
Yeah, it's Super Mario RPG. Why wouldn't it be?
Well, I don't know. I haven't read any reviews about it, but I'm just saying.
I don't think it's more or less stays faithful to the original is what they're basically just going into.
Right, and like that's all you really need. It's like I missed out on the first time, and it's like if this is more or less a definitive version, then ergo I don't need to buy Super Mario RPG.
It's more
Super
just
Nintendo.
It's basically we just updated the graphics. That's about it.
And that's fine. Like, again, that saves me from having to buy a Super Mario RPG on the Super Nintendo, because I don't want to. Because I'm pretty sure that's fairly expensive at this point.
Impossibly expensive, most likely.
I think you can get one loose pretty easy. Actually, let me do a quick check. I have a website for this.
I has the ever-friendly Google. Speaking of Nintendo and their practices, over the Thanksgiving holiday, I don't know when this is gonna go up because whenever it goes up. Das, I think I heard your wallet running away from you.
Yeah.
It was smart to run, wasn't it?
Yeah. I can get a Japanese version of it cheaper.
Jesus Christ.
Could you not? Alright, so the better and updated version you can get for $60 new out of the box. Works on Switch, all that fun shit. I'm looking at some people who are asking for like cartridge alone, Super Nintendo, $90.
Wow. That's a chunk of money.
Ready, go.
There's one guy trying to sell one, which is a box graded copy for $1,000. Stavros, there's a guy on Macari selling the Super Mario RPG for $18 for the Famicom. And
wow.
I could actually play that.
Wow, this little girl is actually decently hard. Goddamn.
What else? $90, $95. Somebody's asking $260, $115, $95. Full box copy, perfect condition, $1,000. Wait, what?
No, what's her other super? I'm curious.
Oh, excuse me. Remember when I said that graded one was $1,000? I misquoted myself. It is just shy of $10,000. Don't ask me how this guy gets his fucking like pricing, because again, it's not worth that. It really isn't.
Wow, she hits decently hard.
So here's a fun little snippet for like collectors and shit like that. What people ask for is not what the fucking game goes for.
No,
Not
never
even close.
It never is.
Mm-hmm.
Hell, there's some. Well, I managed to catch up with the guy that owns a comic book shop in my neighborhood, and like he's full on like, yeah, he's throwing in the tower and retiring because after his wife passed, he was not as enthusiastic as before, and like that, I can respect that. And like, okay, so I kind of asked him like, what is he gonna, you know, kind of sell off or whatever, or sell off, give away or whatever. It's like, oh, like, no, like, cause this stuff on this back wall that's always been behind the counter, that was his collection that he's just kind of showing off to the customers. Like, I never knew that. Like, I never once knew that. Like, oh, okay. I thought, like, okay, yeah, that stuff is for sale because he always has sold same stuff. I didn't know that his collection is the thing behind the shelf, but he was just selling the other things that's basically the same product. Like, I didn't know that. I'm glad I know that now. Man was showing off his impressive collection of stuff. Because he had Spider-Man #1. Das?
I understand this, yes.
Yeah, like, the Spider-Man #1 goes for a lot of money.
Well, I mean, it's kind of like anything volatile. It's comic books, another volatile one too. It's like, oh yeah, no, fucking comic books go up and down, fucking ridiculously.
And this is Spider-Man #1, like 70 Spider-Man #1, like first ever comic of Spider-Man numero uno. I'm like, wow. I'm like, all right, because I know this gray old man since I moved down to this area. I'm like, yeah, he's been in that comic book shop for like ever.
Okay, so I went to pricecharting.com, which is one of the like the two sites I go to for like, you know, evaluating like the price of a game kind of thing. I used to go to Game Value Now, but Game Value Now fucking kind of like went away. Is the short answer.
Right. Stuff changed, website goes away, and then now you're just kind of wondering what.
Yeah. So, again, that's why I'm going to price charting now. So, a loose copy of the original Super Mario Brothers runs for about $82.
That's still a chunk of money.
Yeah, that's a loose copy. That's not complete. That just means it has that you're getting the cartridge. That's what you're getting.
Not the entire box, booklet, still sealed in packaging.
Nothing. Yeah, you're getting the cartridge. Now a complete version, that would get you $320 on average return.
Yeah, that's the thing. That's where it's like, oh yeah, this thing gets you this much because it's still in packaging altogether. Oh shit, story.
Oh, well, shit. I'll shut up.
She's a fucking rich girl that just loves sumo and started a sumo club and wants people to enjoy the sport of sumo.
I know I'm a little late to this party. Why is her fingers taped?
Depending on what sport you practice, you're gonna want some sort of thing to not harm to get harmed. With sumo, you basically use open hand slaps, and that can actually damage your fingers, fingernails, and basically that accordingly.
I have never heard that before.
Well, she does practice, like, you know...
I'm not knocking it. I am not knocking it. I am just saying, it's like, I've never heard that before.
Well, like I said, sumo is also a sport. She is a practitioner of sumo because she loves the sport. Mm-hmm. And her taping her finger... Well, and don't forget, she is a rich girl.
Yeah. So, Callie, I saw you jumping.
I saw you peeking head in. We are currently live at Dueling Dragons right now.
Yeah, we were literally talking about... I forget her name, but apparently she's a practitioner of sumo, and apparently they tape their fingers.
Yep, yes. We're in KOF, and the rich girl that loves sumo. I'm like, yeah, if you're practicing sumo or whatever, they would tape their fingers to kind of protect them and to avoid blisters.
Again, I've never heard that before. Not saying it's wrong, just never heard it before.
I mean, with any sport accordingly, if you're practicing it.
We were also sitting there talking about Super Mario RPG and the fact that what people are asking for original copies of Super Mario RPG are fucking asinine.
Mm-hmm. The original copies. Most people that want that stuff, like, hey, I just want to make sure the lady boobies bounce like how I did in the original game. Like, so you want the original copy on the Super Nintendo.
And Shingo about to have a bad day.
For like a couple of dumb reasons. Because most of the stuff that you wanted to come back is back in that game.
Well, getting you caught up on the whole conversation. So I picked up Super Mario RPG for the Switch. It's nothing I'm really considering for the channel, but I missed out on the first time on the Super Nintendo, so I figured it's like, oh.
Well, it's a fun game.
Yeah. I heard good things about it, and it's like, you know, if I'm gonna fucking pick up the game, this would be a lot more accessible than trying to fucking hunt down an original copy, and it's already a better copy, from the way I understand it.
It is.
Yeah, because people said, like, it stays faithful enough to the original, which is, I mean, I don't think they really did just up the graphics.
Well, I know there's a few odds and ends that are exclusive to the Japanese version of it, but if that's the case, then the Americans never saw it anyway, so how would they know about it?
No, there's even certain things they changed around in the American version versus this one. Like, and some of them are just like lines that's not even that important, you know, stuff of that nature. And of course, like I said, the boobs bouncing on one of the enemies when you hit her.
Well, actually, that's not really what I was thinking about. So, supposedly, if you check behind a certain cabinet in the Japanese version, you can find it's either underwear or a quote-unquote massager.
Oh, you talking about Peaches?
Yeah.
They don't say what it is in the American version, but in the Japanese version, I think they say what it is.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. It's like, they don't say what it is. Like, it's like, you found Peaches question marks in the American version. That's all they ever said. But in the, like, Japanese version, which again, you would have to be able to read Japanese to see this, is like, it was either like underwear or massager, and it was told to me a while ago, but it's like, I forgot between now and then kind of deal. But it's one of those, like, I don't even know if they would even introduce that anymore, to be honest with you. I figured that was like, yeah, I know, you found Peaches blank, blank, blank.
Peaches something or other for whatever reason. Like, yeah, no, that won't fly today because everybody's so sensitive about, no, you can't do that, no.
And, like, it's not even, like, a big thing. Like, you could fucking skip over it, and it's not a big deal kind of thing. And it's like, it wouldn't surprise me if they just cut the shit. And it's like, I'm kind of curious about it, just go check on it myself kind of deal. Just like...
It's still in the Switch version.
Is it? Okay.
Yeah, and it still has it to where, like, if Peach is in your party and you go to that area, she'll literally yell at you for, you know, sneaking around her room.
For snooping around for whatever reason.
Yeah. So, Like I said, most of the stuff from the original is still in the original. There's only a few things that I know for fact that they cut out, and it's like very unimportant shit.
That's kind of what I was getting at. It was like, even with like let's say they went with the like hardcore route where it's like, well, we don't even want to introduce that. It's like, well, it was a fucking secondary thing, and it's like, it was a little knock to a character that is like, yeah, unless they were in your party and shit like that, it wouldn't even fucking come up, kind of thing. It's like, that is not something detrimental to your playthrough.
There is a line that I wish they didn't change, because like there's a point where Mario wants to go before, like when you discover Geno and you're about to join him in your team, and Mario about to start walking up in there fighting. And literally Mello pull him aside like, yo, who do you think you are, Bruce Lee? They cut the Bruce Lee part out. They're like, oh, that's kind of lame.
Well, no, I can see that, like, and not so much from a sensitive ass kind of like nature. It's like, to be fair, like the Bruce Lee family and the remnants of what they are at the moment. It's like, yeah, they kind of like, yeah, we don't want to put ourselves in the media anymore. It's like, want to like stay respectful to Bruce Lee and his fucking, you know, memory kind of thing. It's like, no, that's fair. No, I can totally see that.
But they at least gave the, well, they at least brought to the side to companies like Capcom and Namco for their respective characters, for like Fei Long and Marshall and Forrest Law, because they are literally the homages to Bruce Lee, and the Lee family is actually okay with that. They're okay with like, okay, we don't want our family in the limelight anymore, but we can at least respect you to have your characters that are still the homages.
Like, I understand why they took it out, but it's one of those things like, oh, I wish it was in the game, but it's not one of those things where I'm like, 0 out of 10, they took out one of my favorite lines. This game is so censored.
I mean, in all honesty, fuck Fei Long, because he's cheap as hell. Fucking chicken wing in the fucking rising kick.
I mean, it's not as bad as like.
But all right.
Well, I was gonna say it's not as bad as like a comparison as like between Metal Gear Solid and then remake, the Twin Snakes, the voice actor for Gray Fox.
Yeah.
Like, that one straight up fucking like ruined the playthrough for me. It's like, no, I'm out, I'm done. It's like, you done fucked up one of the best voice actors in the entire game.
Make me feel alive again, Snake.
It's like, what is that?
See, the thing is, that was with me, I never knew for a minute, because the first one I played was the Twin Snakes. I didn't play Sons of Liberty first.
Well, MGS one.
Oh, wait, yeah.
Take your time.
No, that's fine. But yeah, no, and it's like, if you saw it that way first, it's like, I can get that too. And honestly, it's like, it's kind of like my opinion of like Final Fantasy VII. I think Final Fantasy VII is a subpar game, but that's because I played better games first that came out later.
Well, it's more or less you have an ugly bias towards Final Fantasy VII.
I do have a fucking ugly bias towards Final Fantasy, but that's one of the reasons.
Yeah, outside of DOS is ugly. I gotta point that out. Like, if DOS has an ugly bias, he will literally stick to his guns until I call him out on it. Like, you have a bias towards the thing, don't you, DOS? Yes, I do. I don't like that thing. Like, okay, DOS, but be respectful to the people who like that thing. I'm going to, but I don't like it. I understand, DOS.
Pretty much, yeah.
Hey man, look, y'all was just sucking on Final Fantasy VII like that was just the greatest piece of media that ever was written, bro.
I mean, Final Fantasy VII is one of the first RPGs I've actually played. Because I played Final Fantasy VII, I don't really count Pokemon games entirely, but I have played all the Xenosaga games. Xenosagas 1, 2, and 3, and I don't mean Xenosagas as like Xenogears, Xenoblade, or anything like that.
I got a sad Xenosaga story for you.
Proceed.
Well, okay.
I'm drunk enough. I'm drunk enough. Proceed.
It's not a long Xenosaga game. Xenosaga story. I saw somebody come in with a sealed copy of Xenosaga 1. And I think that's the one for the PlayStation 2, unless I'm thinking of the...
All three of them are for the PlayStation 2, and you can actually unlock data if you played the previous games in the line.
Okay. They had a sealed copy of Xeno 1. Like, and I was sitting there, I was minding my own business, fucking shopping for something else on GameStop. And the guy was like, yeah, no, I got this game, and I'm like, I want to trade it in. And the guy at the game store was like, I can't take a sealed copy of the game. It has to be open. So the guy walked outside and popped the plastic on Xeno 1. It was like, oh, dude.
You could have sold that online because it's still in plastic, and people who are collectors.
Yeah.
But he didn't know.
100%. Yeah, and I was like if I had stepped in a quick second first, it was like, well, that, and if I had fucking like $200 on me, it's like, dude, fucking, I'll fucking throw money at you and I'll buy it right now, kind of deal.
Yeah, because like any sealed copy of a game is worth quite a bit of money. Because I have a sealed copy of A Link Between Worlds, so
yeah.
I know.
In 3, so you know, to try and give it context to this one, like PlayStation 4 was just getting ready to butt out. You're still alive, and it's actually hello. Yeah, no, Lucy, like for the amount of time he got to spend on this earth, he fucking was a game changer for both martial arts, film, and just, you know, like
everything in general, right?
I watched the old Green Hornet series just to see some Bruce Lee nonsense.
This is just the start of a new worldwide.
And like even his son Brandon Lee, fucking, he came along, fucking, he did a fucking magnificent job in a lot of what he did, and then died early, which fucking sucked.
Yeah, because like there's even a I'm not sure if it was the History Channel or National Geographic, whichever one of those things, or because there was a thing about like, oh yeah, people who actually got a chance to work with Bruce Lee. Jackie Chan was on there a couple of times.
Bruce Lee and actually fought.
Yeah, and I think the guy that plays
around the time he was doing stunt double work though.
Yes.
Yeah, and I
that
think
is correct.
And I think the guy that plays Ip Man or whatever also got a chance to hang around Bruce Lee, because the one thing I didn't know that Bruce Lee did that was pointed out, like he had sweat glands removed, and like, you can actually do that? I did not know that. That is a weird thing. Why though?
Well, mind you, this is also like years ago. It's one of those weird fucking things that you can do, but I don't know if
you can do it
want
anymore.
to.
And to be honest, that sounds extremely dangerous unless you like extremely know your body.
Right? Because I think
though, to be fair to who we're talking about,
Hold that.
everybody's like, yeah, know you.
Oh no! I'm not talking about it's weird for him. I'm talking about like for any other person.
Yeah, that's just kind of.
That's exactly what I'm getting at. Is like anybody else you told me is like, yeah, they were sweat glands. I would say towards like you're a fucking idiot. You tell me like Brand Lee removed his fucking like sweat glands is like, no, yeah.
You don't think that's crazy? I'm like, yeah. Do you know who he is?
Exactly.
He got it. No. You worried about nothing? He got it.
I went from like, oh yeah, I highly doubt this, to like, nope, no, I do not question him anymore.
Yeah, like I found that kind of weird. Because
I also had never heard that before, to be clear. So like,
no, because this
is the first time I've ever heard that.
Yeah, because it was in like the thing that they were talking about. Like, yeah, he actually got like his sweat glands removed. I'm like, that's...
All right, hold on. If we're getting the hearsay, I gotta double check it now.
Okay.
I'm not discounting it.
I mean, I was watching on.
It's always good to look it up.
Yeah. Yeah,
was
malfunction.
It Bruce or Brandon that got it removed?
Bruce. They were talking about it was Bruce. Because it was, I forgot which movie that he was doing, but they did say, like, yeah, he decided to get his some sweat glands removed. I'm like, okay, why? Were they malfunctioning? Were they not working properly?
Okay, hold up, I found it, actually.
Ooh, that was close.
Months before his death, Lee Corporation removed the sweat glands from his armpits because he thought dank pits looked bad on screen.
Ah, yeah, that was the thing. That was the thing. Thank you, Das. Yeah, because like he thought Dank Pitts on screen, like it was kind of bad, and especially with the profession that he's doing with, oh yeah, martial arts, and we're all up in your grill.
Yeah, but now CGI can cover all that, so we don't even gotta get sweat glands.
Well, yeah, but that wasn't available back in the day, so.
Oh no, back then of course, but I'm referring to now. Hopefully nobody be like, oh, Bruce Lee did this, and I'm like, look, unless your name Ip Man, I don't want to hear no crazy junk you doing.
Like Ip Man, Jackie Chan, Jet Li, Tony Jaa, I do not want to hear it.
And they getting up there in age. I don't even want to hear them doing it.
I'm more surprised. Jackie Chan is doing acting still, but it's very light acting. It's some simple voice acting work, and he's coaching stunt teams. Like, that's fine.
That makes sense.
Okay.
Because he gave back to where he started as a stuntman.
Long before he passed, this actually led to a fainting, and Bruce Lee ended up convulsed. The fact is, like, he could not cool himself properly.
Yeah, because that's the mainly sweating from your pits is your main way of cooling down your body.
They contributed to the fact that it's like, you know, this was likely due to the heat stroke because he no longer cool himself.
Yeah.
So 9 out of 10, it's probably like that kind of could have took him out doing that.
Because if he couldn't cool
obviously
himself,
they're not going to sit there and say that his own hubris took him, but
it does sound like his own.
Sound like that.
Yeah.
You gotta remember too, is like there's, from what I understand, I don't know. I'm obviously not Lee family in any shape or form.
But back on topic, they're at least respectful enough to those, like, oh yeah, we understand
okay.
Yeah, like they're being like, oh yeah, we understand everyone has their own tribute to our family's progenitor, Bruce Lee, and all that stuff. We respect that, but we don't want to be in the limelight anymore. They only gave the okay to Namco and Capcom, like you can continue with your Bruce Lee like characters.
They were some Fong, I believe, which is Capcom's version. You probably never see that character again, dude.
I mean, depending on how Street Fighter 6 goes, it's possible because Street Fighter 6 has been lately. Yeah.
It's like, even then, it's like there's so many characters they can pull from the roster.
Well, which don't forget, in the hub in Street Fighter 6, you can still play Super Street Fighter 2, Street Fighter 2, and that has Fei Long in it. If they did not want to do anything that has a link to Bruce Lee, they would have gotten rid of it altogether.
I look at it as more as like, oh, well, they're reincorporating old data into a game to sit there and it's like, oh, this is something to win fights.
I mean, that may be so, but if they didn't want to have, okay, yeah, the Lee family said it's okay to continue with your whatever characters that you have established to be a tribute to Bruce Lee, but we're kind of, we're done. We don't kind of want that spotlight anymore.
I see what you're saying. I read it more as the fact that it's like, well, especially after you sit there and it's like, supposedly the Lee family said it was okay with yours. From the article I read, and mind you, this was about the time when the Lee family was starting to speak out as like, we don't want any kind of like iteration of, our main family to be fucking doing games anymore.
Yeah.
That was about the time when it's like, well, yeah, you're probably never going to see Lee Fang again.
Fei Long and
Fei
Law.
Long, sorry.
Yeah, Fei Long and Florence Law or martial law, because they're basically the biggest inspiration to Bruce Lee and the Lee family accordingly. But whichever Law is in Tekken, he is playable in the next iteration of Tekken that's coming out next year.
Well, I mean, if they got then it's nothing but a thing, kind of thing. As long as the family feels respected, then that should be all it's said at the end of the day. It's like, if they're content, we're content, kind of deal.
Yeah.
Because again, it's like, Bruce Lee is much larger than, I'm trying to be nice about this, but in a, really is like, no, honestly, you need to respect the man. is like Bruce Lee has surpassed the idea of just a martial arts figure. Is like he's become a martial arts staple kind of thing.
Yeah.
Whereas like you don't have to be this big imposing character. Small man can fucking pack just as much of a punch as anybody else kind of thing.
Correct.
And that was literally the whole point of Bruce Lee in a broader sense from like a martial arts movie perspective. I mean, he's literally I think he's the first one that introduced the dynamic 1-inch punch.
I want to say yes, but I could be horrendously wrong because I know if for all that it's worth, it could be him and it could not. So I want to say just
I'm gonna say it here, and I'll say it on my opinion, my volition kind of thing is like I associate the 1-inch punch with Bruce Lee.
Yeah.
So that's the one you mainly see do it. Like, I associated with him, but I wasn't sure if he's the first one that did it on screen or the first one that did it in martial arts that people know about.
Right.
He's the first one I see do it.
Not to mention, he did.
And again,
go on. Well, he did invent an entirely new genre of martial arts, literally called Jeet Kune Do, that is still practiced to this day. So that's what characters like Fei Long and Florence and martial law are all about. They're at least like, okay, that's their style, even if it isn't called something slightly different in universe to the corresponding games that they are a part of. It's still more or less like, yeah, here's our proper tribute to Bruce Lee because we respect them and their family's wishes. And if they're okay with that, if they're okay with us allowing this, because I know Namco had to go to the Lee family and ask if it was okay for them to put like Law in Tekken,
right?
And they said okay.
And that's and Lee family is very supportive of the idea as long as it's respectful to the middle. Like like it was or something like that. And like both Cap and
hey DOS, hold on 2 seconds. You're cutting in like in and out. So check
you're roboting.
Yeah. Hold on, folks. DOS is fixing a problem.
You say that.
We're poking out a program. Poke it with a stick, DOS.
I'm not doing anything. That's the thing. So I don't know when it's going to be fixed and when it's not because.
Well, it's working now. Speak fast. Speak fast.
Okay, so. As long as, from what I understand, it was okay as long with homages to Bruce Lee, as long as they were respectful, kind of thing. So, ergo is like, it's like something like Fei Long, the characters of the sort, where it's like, they adapted the style and moved forward. It was not a problem kind of thing. They just didn't want to joke characters off Bruce Lee, and it's like,
yeah, because you don't want someone like Dan who's doing basically Bruce Lee stuff.
Right, exactly. Like Dan. They felt that Bruce Lee was too much of a pivotal character to sit there. I have to agree, to be honest with you.
Fuck. He got sniped, and literally the dash came out late. I did it too early, or whatever. Final boss is throwing exploding crystals in
Final boss syndrome. Here we go.
Oh yeah, Macho Man on Tanav. All right, let's go.
Look, you gotta say it correctly. You can't just come in here with no Macho Man voice and you don't do no good Macho Man impression. You gotta really get into it, yeah.
You got damn right, brother. This is Tamaranga.
Feel the Macho Man coming through.
I'm mad it didn't kill the final boss. He had a magic pixel just now. All right, fight's over. Antonov wins. With the body press from the top ropes. Ooh yeah! What the fuck? I know you saw that, DOS. The random alien that's usually in Metal Slug.